Parts of the dark matter apparition mind control program are hiding in plain sight. It's obvious. Excuse me. If one isn't under its control or secondary influence. Even so, what is actually going on has eluded detection, but other parts of the dark matter aberration mind control program have remained hidden. Both have now been revealed due to the Astral Tagging Truth Reveal mission. Yay! And my core matrix related research, my as in Starfire Tor. I have known about the dark matter aberration and agenda for many years. I've written articles about and lectured upon the dangers of dark energy manifestations in supernatural and other settings. It was the time-looping planet-ending nuclear disaster and how the dark energy aberration was causing it to feed its agenda that got me to go public with what I knew and what we could all do. The dark matter aberration doesn't care about you, except as a food source and a way to possess your life force as its own. That is as close as it can get to the soul action. The dark matter aberration knows that it can use up a planet without putting a dent in its agenda. Even though its ultimate soul agenda is doomed to failure because of how the core matrix prime directive program and the divine soul action interact, the platform is there for the dark matter aberration to continue enacting its agenda. However, it cannot sustain itself in physical form, nor can it sustain the life of the body that it possesses. It is a vicious cycle where humans are the prey of a force that is not sentient and is not alive. When it causes the destruction of life on a planet like Earth, it merely feeds on the death, like a parasite. Then it repeats the same agenda in the new rebooted coexisting timeline. It is a virus and a cancer to the extreme. The dark matter aberration knows how to play humans for its own benefit. It knows how to hide behind the elitist humans through which its mind control program is executed. So I guess it needs to promise them things like spaceships, or else they probably wouldn't be that interested in blowing up their own homeworld, right? Right now, the most dangerous dark matter aberration mind control program is playing out through world politics. Next to religions, politics is the easiest way to trick humans into believing whatever the dark matter aberration needs them to believe. When politics intersects with religions, even worst feeding frenzies manifest. As powerful and destructive as the George Soros machine is, see my previous reports on this, that machine and that man is programmed by the dark matter aberration. The Soros machine is negatively effective in many ways, for reasons which are obvious to some and not so obvious to others. But what people don't understand is that the Soros machine is not the top of the mind control tier. The dark matter aberration is at the top. But because people think Soros is at the top, people don't look beyond him. People do not understand that the man who believes himself to be a god is himself a puppet. Well, yes, no, I understand that very well. Slave masters are always slaves themselves. Soros was partly chosen and partly created as the servant of the dark matter aberration. At his now advanced age, the Soros machine will continue with or without him. Charming. Unless the Astral Tagging Truth Reveal mission is focused on outing his network of political manipulation. Yes, and maybe we could all focus some of our wizarding abilities on the truth coming out about George Soros and for his whole mechanism to be dissolved. That would be a very positive manifestation for wizards to focus on. Don't have to see anything bad or nasty happening to these people. Just see any dark mechanism that they are involved with being lovingly dissolved in whichever way you see fit to imagine it. This is possible if the evidence is acted upon by brave and aware people. So if the Truth Reveal mission brings out truth, it's only going to be effective if people then act upon what it brings to light. In 2016, I filled you all in what I knew. Part of that was explaining why Donald Trump would be the 45th president of the US. In this, I stood alone in what I knew. Only one friend, whose name I will not reveal at this time, shunned me because I would not join in and throw hate at Trump. Meemaw, meemaw. The reason why didn't matter to this person, who was and remains trapped in the mind control program. I am still disappointed by this turn of events and hope that one day this person will wake up from the mind control spell. All of my other close friends understand who I am and what I am capable of. So even those who hated Trump and backed Clinton stuck with me and read everything that I reported. They asked questions and considered my answers. Not one of those close friends shunned me. They eventually woke up from the mind control program. It is possible to break the mind control program. Yeah, I mean, why should you shun someone for having some really good information on something? You know, I didn't shun people for voting for Hillary Clinton, and the way I see that woman is she's a terrible criminal. Perhaps an alleged paedophile that actually rapes and kills children. I mean, you can't get worse than that. And she hangs out with George Soros a lot. I mean, talk about dark matter energy. You know, and I have never shunned anyone for voting any which way in my life. You know, I didn't like George Bush and the whole 9/11 stuff, but I never shunned my friends who told me they voted for George Bush and thought he was amazing. I just thought, well, yeah, you know, from their point of view, what they saw of him, he was all of those things that they said. How can I shun them for that? It's ridiculous. This is all the mind control. This is how it operates. Even on the day of voting, when it looked like Trump would lose in a big way, I told you all to wait and watch. Things were not what they appeared to be. It turned out that I'd called it all along. Yes, you did, Starfire. Of course, I was using information only available to me, which I shared with you, as well as showing you how to mine that information in some cases. When Trump won, the time-looping nuclear disaster was ended. Yeah, we all won. Even though millions of people still do not understand that. Yeah, that's the feeling I had. And I didn't understand why I felt that Trump was like something good, because he looked like a bit of an asshole, to be honest. What was that saying though? Sometimes it takes a dick to fuck an asshole. Have you ever heard that saying from South Park? It takes a dick to fuck a pussy and an asshole. That always comes to mind when I think of Trump. Sorry. South Park though, there's some real philosophy in there. So anyway, back to the article. So we all won, even though people don't understand that. I also wrote back in 2016 that Trump was in danger. I also reported that the Soros machine was already planning on ways to upend his presidency and getting him impeached. I was right. There is a reason that this was happening. And the dark matter aberration mind control program is behind it all, with an assist from the Soros machine and others. Trump as president threatens the agenda of the dark matter aberration, as well as the agendas of the elitist humans who are puppets of the dark matter aberration. Besides Soros, this band of elitist manipulators includes Hillary Clinton and crew, Barack Obama and crew, most political leaders and members of the Democratic Party, some leaders and members of the Republican Party, certain political operatives and the left-leaning media. Now, this isn't to say that liberal people who support those parties are evil or bad in any way, shape or form. No, it's just that this energy is very crafty. So it infiltrates the kind of feel-good side of something, because it's too obvious. When it's coming from the right-wing side, it's actually a bit too obvious. You know, gun-toting, George Bush types, it's too obvious. It's much better if it comes dressed as a philanthropist, bringing you flowers and presents for your baby. I mean, what better way to insinuate itself into your mind? In part 3 of my mind control series, I will further explain the difference between dark matter, the dark matter aberration and dark energy. I will explain how the dark matter aberration mind control program is being worked through the political and personal attacks on President Trump, his cabinet, his associates and his security and other policies. I will explain why and how this mind control program has once again put the world in danger of a planet-ending nuclear disaster. Doesn't it ever end? I will explain why and how the dark matter aberration mind control program has put Trump in grave... Oh, sorry, I repeated that. This and more coming up next is what you need to know and understand. This is the real deal that matters. Everything else, politically speaking, is an illusion born from the dark matter aberration mind control program and agenda. The astral tagging truth reveal mission is awake and active again and has been for months. Starfire Tor. Well, that's a pretty big update. So really, this aberration doesn't give up. These people, they don't give up. You know, it's like they take it to their death. They literally die trying to destroy us all. They are that messed up. So yeah, we should really hope and pray that the Creator can somehow fill these wretched beings with some kind of love, light, or some kind of help. They really need some help, these guys. I mean, they are enslaved themselves, let's be honest. Slave masters are the biggest slaves on the planet because they live their life enslaved to a system. So we'll all say a prayer for them. We'll all send out some positive energy to keep the planet in a non-divided, in a unified, whole, balanced state. Like a healthy body, whole and balanced, calm, non-inflamed state. Become that, send that energy out. That's what I would say. And thank you to Starfire Tor for all this amazing work you do. And if you like this, like and subscribe and share. And yeah, one love. Love you guys, and thanks for listening. And yeah, onwards and upwards.